All right, man. Moving on to the next question.
Sure.
uh, I have seen that a lot of the modern day therapeutic practices, not just the Jungian practices, but a lot of the other therapeutic practices, they have incorporated some sort of spiritual component. So, can incorporation of some spiritual components contribute to the router training too?
Yeah. Could you? I think it was snapped off the last. Could
Okay,
you
okay,
could
ma'am.
you please
Yes,
say the
yes,
last
sure.
sentence? Yeah.
So, ma'am,
Yeah.
I was saying that can these incorporation of spiritual component also contribute in the betterment of a router training?
Sure. Sure. And here we also need to be very close to the culture.
Ah,
But I would say that um, in the Jungian psychology, spirituality is important.
hmm,
In all Jungian psychology, spirituality is important, but it looks different in different countries and
hmm,
in different cultures. Um, and what binds us together is sort of the Jung's theories about the numinosity, the numinous, because this is what opens up um, to for all of us. But we have so many different religions, and some people are also not uh, in one of the traditional religions also.
Ma'am,
So
sorry to interrupt. For the ones who don't know what numinous is, can you explain numinous in short? Yes.
numinous, yes. Well, yes, I don't know if I have the definition, but luminosity is something that is greater than us. It is something that is, for instance, the God image is numinous.
Hmm, hmm,
Um, um, it's something that leaves us with a sense of awe.
hmm,
We have a sense of awe. This is something that's much greater than the everyday experience.
hmm, hmm.
Um, I don't really know if I can.
It's all right, ma'am. But, I hope the listeners have now
Think, but
some.
but it is what you are when you are gripped in something that, and that very often happens in religious
Experiences.
experiences.
Yes.
Then you are gripped by something that is it's outside the ego. It's
Hmm,
outside. It has if we look at it in Jungian terms, it has to do much more with the self than with the ego.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Uh, it's more total. It's a total feeling, and it's yeah. So and it's this is what I think binds us together
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
wherever we come from which culture we come from. Numinous, but uh,
So, ma'am, what I'm understanding is that the experience of numinous is a very essential part of the Jungian journey, and
it's very
it's
essential.
yes.
Yes, yes, it's very essential because it has to do with the self.
Hmm,
In essence, it has to do with the image of the self, and this is what we want to strengthen uh, the ego self axis. I look at it. I look at it like this. The ego is up here, self is down
it's up
here.
here.
This is how the ego self axis needs to be strengthened so we can have an access to ourself and not only to our ego, uh, which is which is flat and every day we need to and this is what happens in the individuation process.
Hmm,
So in that way, that is what binds us together in spirituality. But it looks really different in different cultures.
hmm, hmm,
When we and of course you have a very strong spirituality in India.
hmm.
That's and you also have spiritual practices. So I think when you talk about spiritual components, that might also be some that you are thinking about. That, for instance, yeah, I don't know, um, this is not. This is not. This is completely fine to have it, and it can completely be integrated in the router training. But it's not all development groups that have that, because some have some don't have so much practice as you, for instance, have.
Mhm.
I think, I don't know. Maybe you are those that you. Maybe you are a country where you have most of these spiritual practices. I don't know. Maybe you are, because you have. Yeah, maybe you. Yeah,
Maybe, ma'am,
where
the
you
other.
also integrate body and soul, and
Mhm.
you have it in the whole way of your thinking. Also, I think it's. But anyway, it can easily be, this is very important. It would be very important also for you.
Mhm.
It would be totally mistake to take it out,
I see.
uh, and it will also goes very well together with the Jungian thought. So, but in
I'm
your
really
way,
glad to hear something good about my culture. It makes me really proud also.
uh,
And
I will.
about what you said
Yeah,
about
sure.
how other cultures might not have that much of a spiritual component, I'm assuming they
Or
have it
maybe
in a different way.
there are different ways, because I would like to talk to tell you, just mention briefly. Um, there is a group in Siberia.
Mhm.
I went there also, and that group in Siberia, they're very, very strong on shamanism.
Mhm.
Very strong.
Mhm.
They have the president of that group, um, uh, Vera Sabelina, as she's called. They just got a group at this congress, the Siberian group. They just got a membership of as a society. Uh, I went there, and it was really, really interesting to be involved in these shamanistic traditions also. And I think, and that is different, and that is also that takes up a lot of space in that group. That also goes very well with the Jungian thought, because it has to do with having access to something that is beyond.
Beyond something numinous in a in which is very
Something
specific to
numinous
their
that is
culture.
beyond, yeah.
Yes,
And shamanistic also has that, for
true,
instance.
true.
And
I agree with that.
so I think we all have, and I'm going to give a lecture on Sunday where I'm going to speak about mythology, but it's also now quite become, it's growing also now in the Nordic countries, this kind of mythology, where Jung, of course, himself was. He was a Christian man, but he had a little bit problematic relation to his father, who was a priest. So so he was very, very open to all tradition in that way. And that is very good for us, because but his theory was more built on the classical, the Greek mythology.
True.
So he used the Greek mythology and that's also very useful. But but it's very open. But for sure, it will be great for you with your good access to these
Spiritualism.
traditions.
So I hope all the listeners are now more curious and intrigued about the Nordic myth and Norse myth,
Yeah,
Ragnarok.
Norseman. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Mm, yeah.
And please do join everyone on Sunday for Mr. Bergman's lecture on Ragnarok. All right.